Welcome back, ladies and gents. One thing that is super annoying about London, 15 minutes ago when I went outside, it was bright and sunny and warm. Zoom forward these 15 minutes and, it's not. As you can see. I mean, how it can change that dramatically in a quarter of an hour is mind-boggling. When you see, I know that it's more moody in terms of being overcast more often than not, is Paris. It's a shame actually, because I was kind of excited about getting a super bright morning, just like yesterday's. Plus, how the horses' coats glisten, etc., folks, when it's really lovely and bright and sunny. Adds a certain glistening glory to the proceedings. But hopefully those rain clouds, look how menacing, folks, those rain clouds are. Gosh, hopefully that doesn't actually equal rain. I mean, there's no forecast for rain. I think it's going to pass, because if we look a little bit to the right, that's what we had for the minute I walked out this morning. Blue skies, which continue this side. So I'm hoping, obviously, that the rain clouds will move on, ideally to anywhere that isn't actually horse guards. Now, you might be wondering, guys, why it looks as though I'm walking to visit the poorhouse, i.e. the south side of the river. I'm not actually. We're heading in that direction, but it's been at least a week, maybe 2, 3 even, I have no idea, since we were last on the bridge. It's been a good while. We're getting eyeballed by the by Balloon Man over here, who's not a happy boy, which is a pity, but never mind. I'm not even sure why. I think this is a tourist about to get ripped off on the right hand side. The photographer works with Balloon Man. They sort of haul out the balloons. People hold them and then they're like, oh, you held my balloons, that'll be 50 quid or whatever. That's typically the way it works. But it's a nice set of balloons, I must say. Oh, actually, yeah, he's got the iPad around his neck with pictures of people holding the balloons. Now, I'm trying to think back to how long it's been since we... Oh, hold on, guys. Hold the press. Look, the sun is shining through. I knew it would come back. I'm trying to think how long it's been since we were on the bridge and actually encountered the ball and cup scammers, etc. It's been a good while, hasn't it? At least 6 weeks, I think. Perhaps even a couple of months. The bridge is gloriously walkable this morning. I'm not going all the way to the other side. I'm not broke enough to go to the other side. Mr. Bagpipes is up there as well. So I'm hoping that for the sake of these hardy tourists that are on the boat, the sun comes back. Yeah, it makes such a difference, but that is really, really wonderfully moody, eh, folks? That rain cloud that's just hovering above the London Eye, which is incidentally, folks, it's moving right now. I can see people in the capsules. It just moves so incredibly slowly that it must feel... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make that joke. I was going to make a joke about it feeling like being in a capsule in Switzerland. You know the capsule I'm trying to talk about. Capsule where people think they've had enough and decide to off themselves. Oh, hold on. Me strolling across without even looking at the oncoming traffic. Now that glimmer of sunshine that we had was brief, but what a view, guys, eh? Look at that in the distance. That is south of the river, would you believe? Even though it looks like it's on the north bank, the way the Thames twists and turns, that neighbourhood in the distance, all these nice sparkly new buildings, relatively speaking, Vauxhall, Battersea. Oh. I don't know what that was. In fact, this is the least number of tourists I think that we've ever seen on the bridge since we started this channel. It's shockingly deserted, which gives us a glorious perspective over the Palace of Westminster. Look at that, people there. Tell me of another building that is quite so wondrous. Because if it exists, I've never seen it. Taj Mahal, perhaps? Like the pea green soup crossed with horse poop brown colour of the river. It's all glorious. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but the wall in the distance, you might be able to spot the red on it, is the COVID Memorial Wall. It's half a mile, folks, of poignant messages. It's been a while actually since I walked along that wall. Maybe I will one morning. It's probably not the most optimistic way to open a new video, but it's certainly a wonderful and glorious tribute that supposedly will be left in place forever, or at least until it weathers away. Some of the group shots come out really well actually. Some people are super lucky, but obviously it's highly dependent on the weather and those smiles. What's he taking a picture of? Right, I will cross back over again, people, and we will stroll slowly to horseguards. This is a second, and oh, how lucky! Look at that green. Second and final day for the Blues and Royals today. Hence me being back before we've got a lifeguard weekend. Now, so those of you who did ask yesterday in the comments, where is the gate spinator? That's a good question, everybody. And the honest answer is I have no idea, but I'll try and find out. How's about that? Can't say fairer than that, can I? Wow, look. Whoever is in traffic control at TfL is changing the lights as we walk towards them. It's much appreciated. Makes the walk much smoother, doesn't it? But what's this? Stop, hell is real. Don't go there. Repent and accept Jesus. Go with Jesus to heaven. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say no. If somebody gave me an invitation, I would not refuse it, ladies and gents. I would absolutely not refuse it. Gosh, wow, it's so nice to be able to walk around without there being a zillion people. Look at the difference in just one day from yesterday to today. Shows the effect that really bright weather has on the numbers. I mean, to be honest, if you're a tourist, you've been out last night, have a meal, something to drink or whatever, and you wake up this morning, obviously if it's sunny, you're going to be like, hey, look, it's really bright. Let's go outside. You can't wait to be outside in the sunshine, enjoying it. However, if you wake up and it's mushy like this, you're going, oh, you know what, should we sleep for a few hours and then maybe have a brunch or a late lunch? Extraordinary, isn't it? The difference from one day to the next day. This is part of why I enjoy coming out into the centre, because you never know what you're going to get. Yesterday being an absolute prime example of that. My goodness, that was a video and a half. I had quite a few comments of people saying, can you not talk in your videos, please? We would appreciate it. And I thought to myself briefly, you know what, maybe you've got a point. But then I also thought to myself, maybe you've got the wrong channel, and I just banned them. Easier, I guess. There are so many spammy rubbish channels where androids just stand there and film silently that I think people who have a problem with narration should go and watch that rubbish instead. That way we can relax and enjoy our brief guided tours before we reach horseguards. Even the centre bit here, look, yesterday for example, this whole area had all the pro-EU lot, etc. and massive amounts of people. Look, how is it that in the space of 24 hours it goes from that to deserted? Extraordinary, eh? Really extraordinary. Good extraordinary, but still extraordinary. Okay. Workers have just actually removed somebody's extremely large toilet blockage, ready for improvements. Guys, I would head down into that to have a look and inspect the building site, but sadly I forgot my my builder's hat. The health and safety means I'm not allowed to enter. Would be good to see, but alas, not today. I will be one of the first in though, guys. I'm going to review the new facilities. I think, yeah, it's going to be a good idea actually. Go to an Indian the night before, get myself fully primed and prepped, and then give an honest, unbiased review. Oh, interestingly, actually, I think it's mainly people that just want to read the tributes. There are lots of people around the cenotaph again. We can have a quick look, guys, at some of the tributes. Hopefully, those of you that didn't see the picture the other day in the sunshine when they finished laying all of the wreaths, yeah, it's on the Insta. So it's a really nice picture. It came out well because it was a bright and sunny day. One second, folks. There's moody skies in the distance. Look at that. Wow. Oh, obviously the car has to come into the one road that I'm standing outside. But at least they stopped, and they're supposed to just running straight over me. I do like the fact though that all of the scaffolding and barriering that was around the cenotaph was removed, and people are allowed to get this close because this is how it should be. A site of this significance should not be kind of, locked away, and people should not be stopped from approaching and paying their respects. But the sea of poppies is something to behold, isn't it? Utterly incredible, to be honest with you. 3 French submariners here. I mean, where to even start? Look at them all. I don't know why, but I find the anchor to be particularly poignant. Isn't that remarkable, folks, eh? And I think this will likely remain in place for at least the next week, possibly 2, until they have to reopen it. If I step back a teeny bit, folks, you can see just how many there are. Look at it. Isn't that a glory to behold, eh? And rightly so. Lucky it just happens to get really quiet traffic-wise at the moment I stop there too. Okay, this morning I will try my best, in interruptions aside, to focus at the front. Meaning both the horses and the emergence of the gatesman, who hopefully will be the same as yesterday. Now, we've got somebody with a badges betrayed by Labour. Gov.uk badger killers. Interesting. There's always something going on here. I did wonder though, actually, guys, have you noticed that since the new government arrived, we haven't had Just Stop Oil. They've pretty much just vanished, which makes you wonder who was actually funding them, and how convenient is it that they just vanished when the administrations changed hands. I don't know if that means they've suspended activities or whether the organisation is effectively just, self-dissolved. But it's very curious. Protests as a whole, for the moment, seem to be significantly less than they were under the previous government, which I guess is a good sign. I mean, no, he hasn't been arrested. I thought he was for a second. The officer was writing a ticket, but he's just taking some notes in his notepad. Notebook, sorry. Save water, drink limoncello. Yeah, why not? walking past all of these magnificent architectural sites, but preferring to focus on your phone. Curious decision, curious choice. Hopefully though this morning people will be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for, standoffish. Because there won't be so much physical pressure to push the horse toward the horses. That rustling noise, I don't know if the microphone picks up the rustling of autumnal leaves, folks. Okay, here we approach. Bit of a melee, not packed, not deserted. Pretty much in the middle, which to be honest is a good thing. Why tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, it's likely to go back to being completely stupid busy again. So if it's that kind of normal-ish between now and then, great. Hopefully today we can enjoy some reasonably clear filming conditions. Let's see. I didn't even think to check what time it is, folks. Just like I didn't even think to check what the weather's like today. However, here we are. Horse seat number 1. And there were no remnants of food on the floor either. Which, to be honest, I don't often point them out, unless, for example, a large piece of carrots or apples on the floor. But almost every single day, there is some kind of food stuff on the pavement. Somebody's enjoying the atmosphere. The DJI Osmo, that teeny weeny little handheld camera she's got. A lot of people still film with those. I used to myself, actually. Trouble is, the screen's so small you can't really see what you're being exposed to as you capture it. Okay, so horse is having a little bit of a jumpy morning. I don't know why he's having a jumpy morning, but yeah. He's actually not that surrounded either, the horse. Kind of reasonable. Although that said, looking along the line, yeah, there's quite a few cameras focused on the horse. Maybe he doesn't like that. You often get a bit cheesed off when there's a line right in front. Well, it's more likely to be the fact that the traffic has stopped. We'll try and get a little bit closer in a minute, guys. For the moment, we can actually see the whole box, which I see as being a positive. Oh. Okay, I can see the clock, so it's exactly 11:30. Bing pong. I mean, how's that for on the dot? Where's Horsey going to go? What do we think, folks? This is why it's nice to be back sometimes. We get the... That might well explain why the horse isn't always a happy chap. Wouldn't it be wonderful one day if the horse just decided to stampede straight through them? The crazy thing is, only needs the gatesman coming out, let me get out of his way, but the other horse just moved as well. Let's hope that will lead to the horsey calming down a little bit. Really curious to see them both sort of dancing away. Oh, I don't know where to focus the camera, guys, look. Get myself behind the bollards just in case the horse starts forward. The thing is, often when this happens, the people filming right in front don't move out of the way, they just stay there. And that sometimes unsettles the horse a little more. I'm not sure if we've got today's stableman. Oh, morning. Today's stableman who's got his parachute, para-qualified, para-beret, folks. You know, what's wrong with the horse? Okay, and there goes the gatesman. That might actually be, guys, a good time to have a quick look in the yard while he's going back in, because there's no fear of him coming out, like yesterday, me being in his way as he comes back out. So I think that might be a good starting point. Let's have a look. I was secretly hoping he might head to the tunnel. Okay, there's our trisman. Ta-da! And here is our gatesman. Now, I don't instinctively think he's going to wait very long in the tunnel, so I'm not going to go all the way to the end. Well, now I've said it, I bet he does. Every time I call it wrong. That is one of the best views at Horseguards though, is it not, folks? Notice that the rain clouds have somewhat cleared at the back. I stood at Thea. I was going to say I didn't think he was going to stay here long. That's pretty smart. Especially as there are no signs that say you can't ride bikes through the tunnel or into the yard at Horseguards. It's funny, sometimes I sort of turn to my left or right, just like then there's somebody listening intently, thinking I'm actually shooting you, like, I don't know, for BBC or whatever. Now, one thing we can see, folks, if we stand here, is that very, very, very slowly the sun is returning to the yard. Very slowly. Going to take a while, but it'll come back. It will return. Now, let's hope the horses have settled down after that little bit. Thing is, when the traffic is like this, and everything gets backed up here somewhat, they feel as though they're walled in. Yeah, and I get it, I do get it, it makes sense. The biker dude's going to think I'm following him. Didn't even notice he was on the camera again. Oh, look at this big fluffy forelock. Good morning, forelocked beauty. He's shy now, doesn't look at the camera. Is that John? Don't film me. I think we arrived at the perfect time today because Trooper, see that? Oi, he said to her. That's quite a good greeting for the tourist, actually. Oi, you. It's okay. Startled tourist face plants camera. How long till that happens? Anyway, sorry. Yes, the reason I'm thinking will be the perfect time. Look, the rain clouds are moving on, guys. Blue skies are appearing slowly, possibly by the changeover, which is in just over 20 minutes. The two new horses might well be bathed in spectacular sunshine. But if not, have no fear. We've got a couple of days, bright days ahead, according to the forecast, apart from Sunday, which is going to be very rainy. So it should be a good weekend, actually. Oh, someone else in the box, right next to the horse, look. I mean, right in the box. Curious. Let's focus at this end for a little bit and just see what happens if people keep going into the box. That is reason enough, I think, to be hesitant if you haven't been around horses before. Look. Same, you can tell the tourists, in fact, that haven't been anywhere near a horse. Much like me.
No, but I want to learn. I've been to...
Yes, but I grew up in the States.
Yeah, I've been to Spain.
That's nice. I grew up in Valencia.
See the people making new friends behind me. Other horse completely settled down, folks, so we're not going to worry about that one for the moment, but I will include him so that we've got footage of all four today. I think the key difference actually is that now that all of the kids, European and British, have returned to school, there are far less people looking for an exciting and original day out that doesn't cost an absolute fortune. Because other than museums and horse guards, there's very little you can do with your children in central London that doesn't cost an absolute arm and a leg. She still stands in the box. The thing is, though, out the box is not arguably the most translatable phrase. I might ask some tourist folks if we hear say hunchies, how you say out of the box. I mean, look. Oh. Okay, I'm about 40 minutes ish. Are you sure that's okay? Yeah. Oh goodness me! Wow. I mean, I'm getting humbled. It's like the lovely lady yesterday gave me some gifts. You guys, honestly.
This is linked to your favourite friend.
Oh, is it? Oh goodness me! Wow. Which part of Oz are you from, guys? Yeah. First time here seeing this. Really? Oh wow! But you're grateful now that you decided to, yeah? Did you when the guard was doing his rounds? Yeah, but that almost happened to me yesterday in my own videos, so you know what, I really get it. Sometimes it's yeah. Oops. It's funny, he's being a bit kind of, some of the tourists are like, oh, you get out of the box. Other people, he's just ignoring them. I don't get it. You know, there's no lack of there's no consistency. There is a lack of consistency, which I'm still trying to figure out. But I was told the day before yesterday that some of them don't want at all to be on social media as shouting at tourists, which yeah. Oh goodness. Okay. Yep, and I'll look for you as well when I finish. I promise. Okay. Thanks, guys. Hey, days. I tell you what, though, that's going to fly by. You know that. By the time you get back to Canada, you're going to be like, oh, why didn't we go for like an extra week or something? It just goes so fast.
Good thing we're up this
that in fact is one of the best located hotels in the whole of central London. You've got Covent Garden, Charing Cross.
Everything.
Have you been to see the tree yet in Covent Garden?
Not yet.
Yeah, they put up the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I can't remember what time it is, but in the evenings they blow fake snow in the air, and all the tourists are like, whoa, yeah, you'll love it. It's definitely worth seeing. Okay, thanks, guys. Gosh, everybody, it's starting to feel like Christmas has come early for me. Gifts and presents from lovely, kind people all around the world. It's extraordinary. It really is extraordinary. Now, I'm just trying not to laugh at some of the dopey spammers that are wearing sunglasses these days. It's almost like everybody decided to put sunglasses on. I'm going to go to this end, and then hopefully just my sordid presence will convince them all to go to the other end. Especially if I talk through their videos. Who have we got at this end? Who's this beauty? Oh, I wonder. The good thing is, ladies and gents, he's settled down, hasn't he? He's much happier boy than when we first got here. Well, that said, notice he's put his bum to the side of the box. Curiously. I wonder if he'll stay there. And more importantly, I wonder if any tourists are actually going to get anywhere near him. Let's spend a bit of time, grabbing you a couple of numbers and maybe doing some IDs, guys, while we've got a couple of minutes. And as correctly predicted, I come to this and everyone gets out of the way. Love it. 1 second. Okay, so I've got the number. For some reason, it almost seems that some of the Who's have been a lot cleaner recently than in recent months. Scrolling down the list. This horse is really high numbered. Oh, hold on a second, guys. Just squeezing out some tourist lemon juice. And while I'm looking at the list, I'm a teeny bit vexed because the number to me on the hoof looks completely crystal clear. However, the name of this horse, unless of course it's been reused, the number I have down as being Luxembourg. Now the thing is, I haven't seen Luxembourg here in goodness knows how long, but the number is crystal clear. There's no doubt at all about the number. So unless something happened with the list, this shy beauty, nervous beauty, is one we haven't seen for a long time. Let's take a picture just in case I'm correct. 1 second before these tourists decide to go up for their picture. Luxembourg, beautiful. Is he going to look at the camera? What do we think? I'm trying to catch it when his head is held high where it belongs. I think the truth probably thinks I'm live streaming with the phone, whereas I'm not. Actually, you know what? That's enough, because I don't want it to feel like I'm one of the spammers. I hate that. If they think I'm sort of sticking the camera in their face and live streaming it. It's not fair to do that. Absolutely not fair. Now, you might have heard, folks, a certain juvenile person just called me a scammer. The reason he said that is because he obviously feels a bit threatened by me exposing those that are, which is unfortunate, because the way that I look at it, it's about respect. Respect for those that work here, respect for those that in different ways have to deal with the public, like a lot of the public, on a very regular basis when they're here. That's the way that I see it. So I'm thinking that the best response to that is an easy one, realistically. Best thing to do is be an adult and talk to me normally.
Yeah, John, why are you putting me on your YouTube channel?
You're not.
Why are you putting me on the YouTube channel? You walked past there and counted 1, 2, 3 scammers, you said.
You have never been referred to or your channel. You know I have a lot of respect for you.
No,
so
you don't have no respect for me, John.
Oh,
you tried to ruin me over that girl crying, and it didn't work.
I tried to help you, you didn't listen.
It didn't work, John.
Come on,
no,
I'm not here to
no,
argue with you.
No, you didn't. Well, why are you bouncing those little Filipino women, picking on them, John?
Did you see that they reposted your video of the crying guard 2 days ago?
That's not my video, that's their own video. They filmed it themselves. I told you that.
But do you not think that it's very strange that
I removed my video and I removed 27 copyrights.
Listen. We're not here to argue.
27 copyrights I removed, John.
We're not here. You and I are not here to argue.
No, well, you're not to argue, John. You tried to ruin me over that, John.
Come on, stop
You
being
did,
so
John. You
silly.
tried, it didn't work. You tried to ruin the twins, that didn't work either.
Yeah, we can do that.
Why are you so angry all the time about nothing?
Angry because you are a liar, John.
About?
You sit on there and you go, this has been done to me a million times before with other YouTubers. I've been doing this for 10 years. Flagging people off online doesn't work, John. It doesn't work.
Are you overlooking the times that I've tried to help you?
You've
when
not
there
tried
were
to help me,
problems
John.
here?
You're here for yourself. You told
stop it.
everybody you were going to be bigger than me in Miss London.
What?
You told everybody
Who?
that.
Who did I
You
tell?
told everybody
Who?
that. You was going to be bigger than me in Miss
You're
London.
making up stories.
No, I'm
Come
not
on,
making up
stop it.
stories.
I know you're desperate
John,
to
I
get
knew
your
what you-
channel
I
a
knew-
little bit more
I know.
popular, but it's not going to work with
My
making up
channel's more
lies and
popular than yours.
nonsense.
What are you talking about, John? I'm 10 million away from 500 million views.
I
What are you on
don't
about?
need a popular channel because I make content that is
No,
educational.
your channel's about yourself, John. It's about
Because-
yourself,
because
about you
I narrate
talking,
it.
John.
Well, yeah,
No,
because I narrate the
no.
content. Anyway, listen. No, enough at the front here today. Yeah, let's
don't try and
let's
make
let's
that.
leave
You're
it.
lying to me, John.
Okay, let's leave it, folks. When you try and talk to somebody politely, they don't want to listen. It's a shame. It's unfortunate. As you heard, I tried to be a gent. I tried to explain it. Better to ignore. Popularity is not something I've ever sought, hence not appearing on my own channel. But you guys, you're the regular viewers of the channel. You make your own decisions as to motives and truths. I thought it better to just completely ignore, but if you try and engage, then you find out that somebody doesn't want to talk to you because they're so angry, so frustrated, so ambivalent that they're right and everybody else is wrong. It's a waste of time, isn't it, realistically? So I think I'll continue to do what I was doing before, which is ignoring. Why? Because it's the best way to deal with those that don't want to have a civilized discussion. I noticed, in fact, part of the interesting thing I took from that was popularity. Okay. Lots of people that decide they want to have different types of social media do it for popularity. Views, subscribers, followers, blah 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 blah. I don't see the point, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, and for example it makes you angry and frustrated and isolated, then what is the point in getting up and coming out and filming these lovely things? There's no point. It's a shame that some people don't get that, but yeah, I can see it hurts, doesn't it, so much about that, about the situation with the crying gunner, as opposed to seeing my intervention as being something constructive and passing on the wishes of the gunner. Mark Busker chooses to believe that that was some sort of underhanded attempt to destroy him. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine how dumb you need to be to take that sort of approach when somebody's holding out a helping hand. But yeah, I think all hope is lost, guys, in terms of actually trying to reason with someone. Let's try to see where he won't bite. That actually, one second, she's in the box. That actually, the he won't bite thing is is not true. Ah, damn it! I want to say to him that yeah, actually he will bite a horse. That is, he'll definitely bite. Right. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if he says it again. Oops.
In 1982 in Muscat, residential 2-year degree in Muscat.
Now notice, in fact, people, that the tourists are putting their foot over the line, but the guard doesn't really seem to be that bothered. Why? I don't know. I've got no idea why. I really have no idea at all. The thing is, it's really important to me not to get into any sort of heated discussions or arguments. I think you guys know that I don't raise my voice, because at the end of the day, this is a place that needs to be respected and not exploited. I think that's one key difference. Now, I think we've got roughly, give or take, roughly 15 minutes until the change. 1 second, let me check. We didn't actually even ID this one yet, did we, weirdly enough? 1 second, guys. Just going to give you the ID now. I mean, at least we're getting more horse time this morning, so it's not all bad. Wait. Here we are. Damn, it had to be a slightly obscured one, didn't it? Sefton, guys, is back. How do we know that? 2 reasons. The forelock, and thanks to those of you who have identified Sefton in the past. Let's much ourselves to the other. Guys, it's so funny. Every time that I move from the spot I'm in to another end, the people that are wearing sunglasses turn their head the other way because they're scared of being captured in the video. Now, the only person that's going to be captured in the video when they reappear is the person who reposted the crying gunner video. But what I'm going to do before that is something else, which I'm not going to announce in this video because it'd be a pity if we spoil the surprise, wouldn't it? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, what's that? Something just dropped. Notice the horse is really sensitive, in fact, when there's loud noise. Actually, I'm not going to stand right in front because I don't want him to get even more alarmed. This is what the horse is not happy with, guys. Being blocked in. Look, there's an absolute wall, yet again, of buses. A wall of buses. And he doesn't like it. But to be honest, if I were there, I wouldn't like it either. The guard probably doesn't like it too. I was really optimistic about it being pretty quiet today, but it's not going to be. Which is kind of unfortunate. But there we are. Right, into the yard. But we're going into the yard. There's a piece coming out of the yard. I don't know what happened at the front. Maybe that loud noise is what bothered them. In fact, to be honest, the troopers are probably over the moon with how it is today. Look how deserted the yard is. Okay, chains are coming down, guys, which means shortly we'll have the next changeover. Can't decide actually whether it's better to be at the front or in the yard when it's this empty. Thing is, if I stand in that corner, the sunlight's going to be directly into the camera. Not ideal, is it? But there we are. This might, I certainly hope it might, be the quietest day between now and Christmas. Wouldn't that be a wonderful surprise? Trooper just opening the boxes up. I'll let him finish before I turn the camera and go back to the front. I'm still not entirely sure actually if the gatesman that we had yesterday, I almost made a boo-boo with, is the same gatesman who's here today. So you notice that wall of buses, guys, look. It's not completely solid along the front, but I mean it's pretty solid. I wonder the horses are not happy today. But I get it. I didn't actually look, in fact, how long we've got. The other thing with no sunlight is that we don't get the reflections, etc., on the swords and on the brass. Roughly 5 minutes, give or take, until the changeover. No idea which language they're speaking. Can I type? 1 second. Oh, Seth's just like, no, you can't. Can I touch it, us? What's he doing, folks? What's Sefton doing? Is he telling her to get lost, or is he having a little bit of a sneeze? Actually, wait, I think the lady's speaking German. I would ask them, but girls, are you wondering why you can't touch the horse?
Huh?
Were you wondering why you can't touch it?
Yeah, no, I don't will.
Because they put this, you see the new sign on the wall? Yeah, they put the sign down, so no one's allowed anymore to touch the horses. It's a shame, but that's the new rule. I think that was actually probably the closest we've come to somebody trying actively to touch. But to her credit, she did at least ask, and then respected the answer. So no, salute and a smile. How's about that? Love it. Oh. Move myself back a little teeny bit behind the bollard for the changeover. further back, folks, because there are a lot of people here, but they're this side of the bollards.
You know how to do it.
Now the tourists are saying as they go away, I'm not sure if you heard that, read the damn sign was the comment that we had in the background. I'm not sure if the microphone picked that up. They're now actually explaining it after I mentioned about the touching. The defender's putting a boot on the line saying there. Like you can't go beyond that point.
We're about to
This is German, guys, I'm sure it is. At least now the group have noticed the line. I'm not sure what they're saying about it. Hopefully one of you can translate it. Definitely speaking German. Anyway, that's the bell, folks. I don't think you're going to need to worry about clearing the yard because there's hardly anyone in it. That was pretty much inevitable. That's what we've got along the line, ladies and gents. Quite a long line, but this is what matters. People are at least listening to the police. They're adhering to what they're being asked to do. Oh, bro. Right, Ormond, folks. Sadly not. I know, I was excited too. Should be, in fact, horses will kick and bite. Ah, in fact, there's a trooper from yesterday's picture. Yesterday was a glorious picture set to T-Rex. Get it on. Folks, if you're still not watching for the link, I always put the Instagram account in the pinned comment on the daily video. That way you get to see what ends up being most days the picture of the day. Typically one of the horses, but occasionally something else if it's particularly unique. Now one good thing is that those rain clouds have pretty much moved on. Not entirely, but pretty much. Look at the sun in the yard. So these two are going to have a much better time, I think. We've got a real sort of build-up of tourists now this end. Let's see how many people are going to actually bother to ignore and walk straight through the gate, and how many are going to go up for a picture. noticing the camera. Now, let me get you an idea 1 second on this one. Whilst we're here, I'm always careful when I take out the phone now, but you know what? It's going to happen, it's going to happen. Beautiful. That's actually a good way to describe the horse in a word. Okay, this one is, drum roll. It's Wombers, guys. Wombat, I'm reasonably certain it is. So we've got 3 out of 4. Yeah, don't worry about the camera. Fuzzy hair bro completely didn't realise that there's a camera. Lucky though, his hair cleaned the lens. Trooper. He's not noticing the feet inside the box, which is interesting. And let's get a little bit more central. Bomb. I'm not entirely sure which picture she's looking to try and get, this girl. I mean, she's got a few already, so curious, eh? Oh, hear that lady behind saying they completely ignore, totally ignorant, and just walk through. I mean, she's got a point. I think it's a generational thing, isn't it, folks, to be honest? Those in their 60s and older show a lot more deference than the generation that followed, which in some respects is very unfortunate. I think they're just trying to get the perfect picture. And that family have definitely got the perfect picture. I'll move to the other end in a minute, guys, and hopefully when I go to the other end, that lot will come to this end. Fingers crossed. Yeah, they're marching straight into the box, look. Oh, they finally found a tourist who's willing to take a group shot. I did just think of one important thing actually, guys, about this reposting of the gunner video. One second, let me ask. Just one question, nothing serious. 100% that person filmed the crime gunner independently is definitely not yours, you know? Like she took her own and posted it for whatever reason 3 days ago.
Girl that you had a go at, that's her video, and you said about the poppies, the thin younger lady at the two. That's her video. But she put it on Facebook 3 times, got 3 million views for it each time. I've told you this already.
Okay, just one question though. Do you personally, between you and I, okay, do you actually think it's good to repost it or not? Just that one question, come on.
Who reposted what?
No, for that to be posted 3 days ago again, after it happened so many months ago, why would somebody post it now other than for, you know, hits, virality, money?
Sorry, to be stolen, to be a stolen video.
No, but if you're, what I'm saying is, I didn't know that it was her video that she filmed. You're saying it is, and I'm not disagreeing with you.
John, I told you on the day that it was filmed by 5 people, 2 YouTubers.
So if she's
Facebookers.
reposting it, something that she took herself, come on, you and I at least agree that that's bang out of order.
They never took it down.
So do we agree that that's at least out of order? You wouldn't repost it, would you?
Did I take down my video?
Yes.
Have I done 27 copyright strikes?
Yes.
Did you done my video? Right.
So
There
that's
you go,
one
John.
thing that you and I agree on, isn't it? Come on, it's at least one thing that we
John,
agree
I don't understand
on.
why you've got me to stir it up.
I
Lie about
haven't.
me, John. You did, John.
Mark,
You did, John.
I'm not. I'm trying to
John,
talk to you
did.
normally, and you're always having a
Come on, you
meltdown.
stirred the pot, John. I was out all day that day. I came back, right, to you, then ranting on the phone, saying she wants to take him
But
down.
why are we talking about something that happened 6 months? It doesn't matter anymore.
Because what you did, John, you made videos about me. You've made videos about me. When I come up and told you to leave me and Abdullah alone, you made a video about me calling me an idiot and put it up on YouTube.
Because you did come
I've
over
not made one
and
video
start shouting
about
at
you
me.
on my
Okay,
channel.
you're raising your voice again. I'm going to move away, folks. Hey, come on. can't keep it down, can he? Look. See? It doesn't matter how many times I try, it's not going to work. Oh, outside the box. Oh, outside the box. Uh-oh. Okay, that was a bit of a group effort actually there. Tourist and trooper with this dude. But he took it well, to his credit, he did take it well. Okay, so we have the only thing that I needed, which is... Oh, what's this?
Have you had a weapon check? Have you had a weapon check? Have you had a weapon check? Check your weapon.
Yikes.
I'm on camera. I'm telling you, leave the area and leave the car on. Okay?
It's interesting. I don't know who this guy is, folks, or how it kicked off. I didn't see what he did either, but obviously it's not a particularly interesting situation. I'll leave the camera rolling just in case. I mean, it could be evidential.
Where are you going? You're not again, I'll tase you. You understand? You become aggressive here.
Oh wow. Do that again, I'll taser you. How's about that, folks? I think, in all likelihood, he's probably completely off his head, this guy. Extraordinary, really. I mean, absolutely extraordinary.
Because I don't want the horse to stamp over me.
I'm not going to get any closer, but nor am I going to move away, because at the end of the day, people that have substance abuse issues aren't fully aware of what they're doing. I'm not making an excuse for this guy, he's clearly off his head. But at the same time, obviously the police can't be having this kind of thing out in public.
Every day. And you're coming away. You're coming away. You're using bubble.
Yeah, this is not a nice situation, folks, to be witnessing, I have to be honest. He is being moved on slowly, but obviously it's messy, it's awkward. Anyway, he's off, he's gone. Yeah, he's off his head, folks. It's not, I'm not making excuses for him, but he doesn't know what he's doing, that guy. So he actually needs help, to be quite fair. I remember seeing him in a previous video when something kicked off here, and it's kind of sad to see, but you know, and it would not be a nice thing at all to see somebody get tasered, regardless of whether or not they deserve it. If that ever happens here, yeah, it will be a bit of a dark day, in all honesty. The thing is, he's really aggressive. Even though I can still hear him sort of shouting at tourists and stuff as he walks along Whitehall. It's not a nice thing, you know, if people are here. And now, this YouTuber is being told... This YouTuber is being told... Gosh, very awkward, eh? He's definitely been here before, though, that guy. I'm pretty sure I remember him. But then again, there are so many that are like that, i.e. totally off their head, that what can you do? I mean, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. It's a really, really unpleasant thing to see when it happens here. Lucky it's reasonably quiet, because on those really, really busy days, when there are lots of kids here, that is absolutely the last thing that I think anybody wants to see. And the funny thing is, those sort of salacious moments like that are what some of the people that film here effectively live for. You know, major controversy. Sad, but it is what it is. Yeah. And the video was so kind of peaceful and tranquil, etc. Until that moment, but we knew, as usual, that it wasn't going to last, because it never does. Okay, this horse is a bit clippy-cloppy and nervous. I don't know why. A couple minutes actually until the gatesman will do what will likely be his last rounds in today's video. And I do need to find those lovely tourists from Canberra, who I think, can't see them now, but hopefully they're still here somewhere. Oh, actually, yeah, I've seen them. That'll be my closing chat after, hopefully, that we catch the last rounds of the day. Fingers crossed. Give ourselves a right over. There we go. That's the first time actually that I recall anyone ever being threatened with being tasered here. So I'm guessing they're thinking that that was potentially a serious public order issue. I understand why they can't have it, because at the end of the day, you know, this is a very popular tourist spot, and if they let it kick off here, other, I don't know, druggies, drunks, whatever you want to call them, will come along. But it's good actually that the police spoke to the spammer, because he was I'm not sure if we did catch it, but he was, at least when it first started, he was absolutely in their face with the camera. Now, there's nothing wrong with filming here, and the police have in the past asked to look at footage when something's happened to make sure there was nothing untoward. In fact, one of the officers that's here today has looked at my footage before I published it in the past, and I have no issue sharing it, they know that. But I think it's better to film at a respectful distance instead of getting up and sticking the camera right in. But at least whatever they said to him, at least he listened. Because to be honest, I think they are starting to get a little bit cheesed off, much like the troopers, with just how intrusive some of the filming has been recently. Obviously, you just turned up when all the drama's already finished.
Yeah, Mark just told me that something happened.
Some weird, like, it was only interesting because the first time ever I've heard the police say, "If you do that again, I'm going to taser you." He actually said to him, "I'm going to taser you." At that point, the guy kind of realised that they were not messing about and moved on. Yeah, I just noticed. Oh, lots of school kids. And the last rounds. Anyway, I think actually, arguably, folks, we did manage to clear the air a little bit there, despite my double attempt. I think we got there in the end, which is good. Oh, thanks, Blondie. I'm pretty sure though that he's actually been there before. I say he's been there before. The guy that's off his head. 1 second, let me ask. I'm pretty sure he's been here before now. I wasn't here when I saw, but I've seen him in videos. I think there's like a group of them that go up there, score, get absolutely rinsed, and then just...
Yeah, there was him and another guy was wandering a bit early this morning. Yeah. And he seemed a bit agitated. Or the, you know, you can get that feeling from it.
I've seen them in the morning, sometimes when I'm at that end, they sleep outside Charing Cross train station along the Strand. And I don't think they know what they're doing, to be honest. But it's horrible, like really awkward, like, you went in to tase him though. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, well, if you've got to keep doing that, I would have. If you keep your walls near it, I would have.
Good question though, honestly guys. If that ever happens, I guess you prefer that all of us get away quickly and do not film anything like that.
Probably stay away. Stay away to give us space. That's all. I'm not worried about you filming it.
You sure? No, but it just feels a bit awkward to be filming when things happen like that.
There will be potentially every season of Section 19 as evidential purpose. So that's at your own risk. You do film it.
Because we could probably seize your cameras.
No, but I don't mind. I'll hand it over voluntarily to you guys. You know that I will.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things. you know, it is a public place. You know, I won't have to go with it. There's, you know, again, it's down to your moral standards as well.
Yeah, I know.
I will only put on that.
But you know I'm happy to.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, you're quite.
Because that kind of thing is like really kind of icky and makes me like, ah. But at least this morning, lots of kids
I think
here.
he was
So.
all noise and no.
Yeah.
The trouble is when they're like that, you can't reason with them because they don't know what's their night, do they? Let's be honest. So,
I think sometimes it takes a bit for them to process what we're trying to say to them.
yeah.
And then when I was standing with my hand on the taser.
Yeah, I think you realise at that point he's had enough of it. Oh, goodness me. Well, thanks. Okay, folks, I mean, it ended in good humour, I guess, at the end of the day. So I'm almost done, I promise. So the tourists from Canberra are still waiting to have a chat with me. Anyway, folks, our closing shot, rarely, actually, in fact, I don't remember the last time it happened, is going to be here in the yard. Why? Because it's a wholesome note. Family getting pictures that they'll remember and be able to show their beautiful baby in the future at some point. I wonder if any families ever come here once a year, every year with their kid and taken a picture, for example. If I thought about that, say, 20 odd years ago, I would definitely have done that with all of mine. Why? Because it would have been a wonderful thing to have a sort of pictorial record of the kids growing up in the same spot. How's about that for a good idea? Anyway, folks, that was quite, I'm trying to keep a straight face, but that was quite the morning for various reasons. Anyway, I did what I always do, try to be impartial, try to be an arbiter of common sense, but that doesn't always work. Anyway, it ended well, and I'll be back real soon, ladies and gents. Thank you for watching.